In this video, Jayaji, I'd like to ask you that one of your books that you authored is titled Crafting Nature. Now, I'd like to ask you that has the concept that you have used in that book, to any degree did it succeed with regard to the cause of environment, because you have talked about nature?
Well, when I wrote that book, there was no talk of climate change, environment, ecology, nothing. That was a different time. But now, recently last year, I did a program at Bikaner House for ICCR, Indian Council of Cultural Relations, which was called Coalescence, in which I said climate, craft, community, culture. I added all these together, and I said that communities benefit, climate benefits, craft and culture all benefit, so we should bring them all together. And since then, at every opportunity, I was speaking at a G20 meeting, and everywhere I go, to colleges, schools, anywhere that I have to give a talk, this is the thing I highlight now, as I did a little earlier with you, that I do believe that, we talk about Greta Thunberg and all these people who go and lecture the whole world. But our craftspeople silently have been nurturing the environment ever since they were born. Even our Rigveda talks about how a woodcutter must rub honey on his axe and apologize to the tree before cutting it, saying, I don't mean to harm you and pain you, but I also have to live.
That's wonderful.
Why in India do we Ganga Ma? How do we pray to every tree? How do we light a lamp anywhere? For us, God is everywhere, not because truly there is a God sitting everywhere. It is because if you treat everything as a part of nature, as godliness, you will respect it and you will not break it down. We need water, air, tree, everything for survival. So human beings' basic survival instinct is to nurture the environment. We have lost this basic instinct because our basic instinct has become greed and profit. So this is where I try to say that why do you want to make millions of something when millions of people make that one something? Do you want to keep humanity alive, or do you want to just keep a few people who can afford to go to Mars or go to the moon alive? So it's a very ideological, and it's a spiritual, and it's a philosophical question, and also an ecological question that I'm asking.
Okay, right. Another work of yours related to democratic social thought, socialist thought, I beg pardon, and action. Now, what do you think its relevance, contemporary relevance today?
Everybody speaks the same language, they just put a different brand name on it.
Yes.
It can be called Gandhian thought, it can be the BJP will say the same thing, the Congress will say the same thing, all religions will say the same thing, that you must be kind to others, everybody should be equal, ऊंच नीच नहीं होना चाहिए, औरों का भला करो. All these things, that's why the democratic socialists used to say religion and politics are interchangeable, because if you truly believe what religion, the purpose of religion is, and the true purpose of politics is, they should not be different. And my mentor and political guru, George Fernandez, he used to say why I am a socialist, and he started by explaining that what is Christianity, because everyone saw his name and he was a Christian. So he said, I don't need to be a Christian. If I am a good socialist, I am a good Christian. So I don't need to go to church because I see my God in the eyes of the poor man. So this is what we all believe in. I won't go to a temple, but if I do good to everybody whom I can, I feel that that is enough of a prayer.
Somehow this, the word socialist seems to connect more with the materialistic gains and
it's
finances.
a left ideology.
Yes.
It connects because that is the American way of thinking. For them, you mention socialism in America and they immediately think of Stalin and Marx and all of them.
Yes.
But in India, Jayaprakash Narayan was a staunch socialist. The Socialist Party formed itself by breaking off from Nehru because Nehru they found aristocratic and elite, whereas they were more egalitarian. Dr. Ramanohar Lohia, who was a very powerful leader of this democratic socialists, once Congress party put up a Maharani from a particular seat to fight, and Dr. Lohia put up a Mehtrani. He said, my Mehtrani will fight your Rani. And once Jawaharlal Nehru said in Parliament, my father was the prince of all men. So he said, see, you're still talking like you're a king and it's a monarchy, but we are a democracy, everybody should be equal. So it's a question of how do you make people equal, at least in opportunity, equal in social status, equal in respect. After that, leave them to wherever they achieve in their merit. And democratic socialist means that we are not at all going to be a Stalinist state where the state rules everything, like, or in China where you can't open your mouth and oppose the state. In India, you can be democratic socialist even today. Most people in their practice and their thought are
very interesting, philosophy of socialism. You took three names. You spoke about George, you spoke about Lohia, you spoke about JP. What do you think of Madhu Limaye?
Madhu Limaye was an activist, certainly, but he, out of all the socialists, was the intellectual.
Okay.
Every socialist wrote a lot. In fact, if you think about it, Nehru in jail, Gandhi on every lifafa ka cover, JP, everyone, till say 3 decades ago, no politician stopped writing.
Yes.
They wrote their thoughts, they wrote letters. आजकल tweet में सब काम चल जाता है. A tweet does not make history. I cannot imagine history books of 50 years later quoting everybody's tweets. It's be like a joke book.
Okay, thank you. This brings us to the end of this video, and in the next we will talk about law, courts and connected matters. Thank you.